This is the Royal Docks, once the busiest docks in the world and now regenerated as a new gateway to London, part of the Mayor's plan for creating opportunity areas where we can develop new communities, new business centres, supported by great infrastructure, railway lines, the cable car, and of course Crossrail 1 or the Elizabeth line opening very shortly.
The landscape that you can see behind me probably started in about 1855 when speculators from the main part of the city came and started to build new docks in this part of London. And then they were really active port and for about the next 100 years. Successful. We had the Sugar Mile just to our left over there.
Silvertown was a wonderful place to live in. It was factories and factories and factories all the way. No shops, just factories. You had the biggest employer in our area, that part, which was Lyle's factory, the syrup factory. And as you, from the bottom of the viaduct, walked in that area, you got a sweet smell all the time.
And then they were declined in the 1970s, and all of the industry moved away, and this place was very much empty for a long period of time. And then in the 1980s and 1990s, new uses started to come in, and over time they've just increased.
Growing up, the Royal Docks wasn't really an area that you would want to come to, and also being an area that was going through quite accelerated industrial decline, there wasn't really opportunity. The Royal Dock had a majestic history, but really didn't have anything to offer. So as a consequence, it's really great to see the turnaround that has happened. I recognise the significance of the Royal Docks as being a really exciting place and something that I'm determined and committed to support to make sure that it benefits our people.
We're seeing new industries, new businesses moving here, and you really get a feeling that this is regeneration happening in front of our eyes.
The Royal Docks is London's only enterprise zone, and what that means is that with government support there's a real focus on regenerating 3 of the largest sites here and provide more than 40,000 jobs over the next 10 to 15 years.
It's a great place to live and to have our business, as the area is getting a lot of investment. So it's a great place to start up something new or to move in, experience a different part of London that you probably never even knew that was there.
This place was like a godsend when we found it. It's got good access to central London. It's a good size, which are rare in central locations. It's affordable, which is great for us. So there'll be more smaller industry sort of like kept within the heart of the city rather than it being pushed out.
When you consider Royal Wharf, it's brought in residential and they've got high-end shops, so it's attracting those people to live. And when they come here, places like the Silver Building, Waterfronts and City Island, they've actually catered for exhibition spaces, small businesses, small studios, serviced offices, and that's been the massive change, and that's all come within these last 3 or 4 years, and that's been really good for us and for the area.
We have City Airport, which is currently undergoing a £500 million redevelopment phase to build a new terminal building and having new planes that will be quieter and fly further. But we're also home to Excel, which attracts 4 million people every year for a whole host of amazing events, from Comic-Con through to cardiology conferences, through to World Travel Market. So this place really hosts a whole host of people from all over the world on a regular basis.
The whole notion of transport is going to significantly change. We'll have the Crossrail developments, which will be significant for this area and I think for local communities. I think one thing that is a challenge for not just local communities but just for our student base, a lot of them are commuters. They'll be coming in from as far as Colchester or Barking and places like that, and so the travel for them is quite significant. So I think the developments in travel, with the new developments with the DLR and Crossrail, will be a significant change.
It's the most diverse in the whole of the country, some 240 languages or dialects spoken, so we reflect the world, and the Royal Docks very much represents a magnet for the world.
In my experience, the area has always been an area that welcomes people from all over the world, and we've got a massively diverse community, as we had then and we do now.
This year we trialled the Join the Docks Festival, and there were almost 200 events over a 4-month period of time across the docks. Everything from London jazz festivals to an urban beach to roving discos. It's managed to attract a whole host of new people to the docks that perhaps didn't even realise that this place existed.
We're starting to create a cultural and creative community in this area. It's going to bring the best in entertainment, the best in jazz music, the best in performance, and it's going to happen right on our doorstep.
Got a lot more people engaged in what the area is, instead of just living here and going to work in a different area. It doesn't feel like you're actually in London. It feels like you're actually by the seaside somewhere. It almost feels like you've gone on holiday.
We need to give our young people public spaces that are open and accessible and for them. Who'd have thought you could create and evoke a sense of being by the seaside at the Royal Docks? But this is exactly what we need to be creating.
And what you're seeing with some of the new developments that are coming forward is some really high quality development that isn't really seen elsewhere in London.
The city needs to be a mix of development and places for people to work and to live, but also we need green spaces. We need spaces to play, to relax, and places for leisure like this. They are essential parts of living in the city.
The Royal Docks is going to be offering so much for Londoners and for new residents, both in terms of access to experiences, but also access to learning through being able to register for courses, upgrade your skills, and even more significantly, loads and loads of jobs.
On this campus, on a daily basis, we probably have 5,000 to 6,000 students here. You know, it's a big body of people coming into here from East London, but also from West London and the north as well, and south of the river. So it is a substantial hub here that we've created with University of East London. So I think we've got a chance here at Royal Docks to create something that's really dynamic and new and can remain here.
We are a hotel business, but we're also a social business. What's happening in the Royal Docks and the regeneration and the changings and the investment, we can really relate to that on a real level, because the hotel itself is the result of the process of taking something that was disused, abandoned, and trying to make something good of it, trying to build from that into something even better and something brighter, and also something that can serve the community in the best possible way. So everything that's going on in this area is so exciting for us because we believe in it and we want to support it, and it's our story too.
As we all know, homes in London are very expensive and unaffordable for many people. So the Mayor is helping to deliver some 4,000 new homes in this area, 8 billion being invested here over 20 years, which will create new places for people to live. And private developers are working very hard to deliver more affordable homes for Londoners.
The sites that we're developing here are big empty sites that have been empty for 30 years, so local people aren't being negatively affected as they are in other parts of the city. I think people are really eager to see change and really supportive of change, and they really want to be a part of that change because this place is now becoming an attractive place to live and a successful place. We're able, through the value that's generated in those sites, to provide really high quality and really high levels of affordable housing.
I imagine Royal Docks being a really compelling destination for tourists, visitors from across London, the rest of the UK, but also internationally, because of its vibrancy, because of art, culture, technology. But I also see the Royal Docks as a happy place for local residents and a place where they can experience opportunity through jobs, through training, education. It's fun, it's vibrant, it's accessible. I think Royal Docks is going to be an awesome place, and it's amazing already.